Hey friends, welcome back to the Small Business Big Deal podcast. I am your host, Tracy Jepson, and today we are doing something that's a little bit different. It's just going to be you and me, no guest interviews, no outside voices. I just want to use these solo episodes to go a little bit deeper into the tools that I use every single day with my coaching and consulting clients. And today we are going to talk about something that sounds really simple, but actually the root of everything, your values. Now, if you have just rolled your eyes and thought, values, those fluffy words like honesty and integrity, the companies slap on their website and, stick with me here because this is the truth. Your values aren't fluff. They are the foundation for every decision that you make in your business and in your life. They impact who you hire, they impact how you market, what clients you say yes to, and how you lead your team. Most business owners can tell me their revenue goals all day long, and a lot of them can even tell me their marketing plan. But when I start to ask, what do you stand for? What do you not compromise on? Oftentimes I get silence. And that silence is exactly why so many entrepreneurs build businesses that they don't even like. Honestly, some even get very, very resentful towards what they have built. So, in this episode, I'm going to walk you through a step by step exercise that I use all of the time to uncover your top 5 values to show you what it looks like when your business is in alignment with them and when it isn't. And then to help you put those values into action. By the end of this, you're not only going to know what your values are, but you're going to know exactly how to use them as your compass. And yes, I have linked a free assessment in the show notes. That way you can take this exercise even further and not have to worry about writing everything down so fast. So let's jump in a little bit. Why do values matter? So let me give you an example. I had a client who thought growth was her number one value, but once we dug in, it actually turned out that family came first. She kept pushing for expansion, but every time she tried to expand, growth pulled her away from her family and she felt guilty and drained. And when she finally realigned her business model around her family, not only did she enjoy her work more, but her growth actually accelerated. I have seen this time and time again. And honestly, I have been there myself. Like early on, I said yes to everything because I thought more clients meant more money, and more money meant that I could pay off all of the debt that I started this business faster. So that was originally the goal, was to get out of debt, and this business was going to be there to support that. Unfortunately, what it did to me was very similar to my client, is that the more that I worked, the more that I was away from my family, and the more clients I brought on, the more stressed I was. My pricing was wrong. It became just really stressful and frustrated. I'll link the original show in the notes here so you can actually go back and listen to that episode where I talk about how I crashed my family and my marriage as I was growing this business. And that was a really big deal to me. But ultimately, once I knew I was out of alignment with my values, which is simplicity, I was exhausted. And once I started building for simplicity, everything got lighter, easier. I got better clients. I worked less, and I am so much happier. But again, it took me knowing that simplicity was a value of mine in order to build my business around it and to be successful. So that is why I know that knowing your values isn't optional. They're not just personal, like they shape your culture, your brand, the way you lead. Without them, you chase shiny opportunities that don't align. And with them, you can make decisions with clarity. So as we jump into this exercise, the very first step, we're going to ask a few reflection questions. And if you download the assessment, you'll find these written out as well. But if not, grab a piece of paper and a pen and go for it. And we'll get these questions so that way you can start thinking about them. The first question is, what motivates you and energizes you each day? Question 2, which activities are the most important to you? Question 3, what makes you wish it was morning already? Question 4, what would you be proud of at the end of your life? Question 5, what fulfills you? And question 6 is one of my favorite. What makes you really angry? Now, I want you to have written those down or to use the assessment in the download, and I want you to really give these some thought. I don't want you to, come up with the very first answer that comes to your head. I want these to be really thoughtful because, again, these are you choosing your values. So as we think about possible values, such as creativity, freedom, family, health, humor, service, growth, adventure, community, Pick the 5 that feel the most like you. Again, if you don't have the download, throw it into Google, ask for a list of values, or there's a bunch of values listed on the download for you. So, not the ones that you think you should have, but the ones that already show up in your life. I get so many clients that want to project where they are with these values or where they are in life. And I have to remind you, like, this is not about where you want to be. This is about what is already actually showing up. So, if you have family as a priority and as a value, and you really want that to be it, but you know that it's not showing up in your life, take assessment of that. Make sure that we are putting down the values that are already showing up and that you really, really are already doing. So, ranking and reflection is the next step of this. So, once you have chosen your 5 values, I want you to rank them in order and then ask yourself, why does this matter to me? And also ask, is this true everywhere in my life or only in certain situations? What does this look like in my business? So I talk about simplicity being one of my values, and I have to really ask myself, like, is this something that is everywhere in my life, or do I only want simplicity in my business? And no, I want simplicity everywhere in my life. This is something that's really, really important to me. I want my morning routine to be really simple. I don't need a 45-step routine with journaling and prayer and hiking and working out and meditation. Like, that's not for me. I need something that's really, really easy. I love to go to the dog park, so I get my walk in, my dog gets her exercise. I do some reflection in the morning with my 5-minute journal. I also have a link to that in the show notes, and my coffee. Like, that is my routine. It prepares me every single day for exactly what I need, and it's not crazy. Some mornings might look a little different if it's a weekend or that kind of thing, but I try to stick to that morning routine all of the time. And that simplicity comes too in, like, I want dinners to be easy and I want my calendar to be free, where it's not just completely jam packed with calls all day long, or I'm not just always making plans in the evenings and taking away from my routines. Like, I want really, really simple things in my life, and it matters in every aspect, not just my morning routine and not just my business and not in certain situations. Like, for me, simplicity is really important. When you know your values, they absolutely become your decision making filter. For example, if one of your values is growth, you might be really interested in investing in coaching, pushing into new markets, working through innovations inside of your business. If family is your top value, you might want to build a business that doesn't eat up your evenings and weekends. If creativity is something that is a value to you, you're going to want to avoid cookie cutter offers, or also, again, leaning into innovation. If health is one of your top 5 values, you're going to want to structure your work to prevent burnout. Again, I know that burnout was such a thing for me, and that I can't work 5 days a week from 9 to 5. Like, that just doesn't work for me. It's too much peopling. It's too much brain power. I have to have space in my days. I will get absolutely burned out if I bring on too many clients in 1 month. Our onboarding is pretty intensive with new consulting clients, and I can only bring on so many of those at a time in order to not get burned out or to have too much going on. I will not work evenings and I will not work weekends. And that is a boundary that I have put in place because, again, making sure that my health is very secure is a super important value to me. And I just know that those boundaries are there to help me and not to hurt me. So I want you to take 15 minutes this week and write down your top 5 values and why they matter. And then I want you to ask, am I running my business in alignment with these values, or am I constantly fighting against them? The misalignment usually shows up as frustration, burnout, or resentment. And the alignment is going to show up as energy, clarity, and momentum. I can assure you that once you are working within your values and you are in full alignment with them, you are going to be excited to come to work. You're going to be excited to show up, because when you're not feeling burnt out, the idea and the thought of going into your business is going to light you up again. It's going to feel like those first few moments of when you started your business and everything was going great and you wanted all of the good things in your life. It's not going to feel like overwhelm. It's not going to feel like you have to do it. And I think you're going to be much, much happier once you're within alignment. Your business can't be, everything to everyone, but it definitely can be a reflection of you. And that's where the magic happens. If you are ready to go deeper, like I said, I've created a free assessment that walks you through this exact process. The link is in the show notes. go in, take it, uncover your top 5 values, and send me a message and let me know exactly what your values were and how it feels to be working in alignment. And if you are struggling with that alignment and you're not really sure how to get there, you know what your values are, but you don't know how to untangle the business in order to get it to where you want it to be, send me a message and we can do a couple of coaching sessions to get you through it. And we can show you exactly how to get your company back in alignment with your values and find out what's keeping you stuck. Thank you so much for hanging out today. I hope you walk away with not just a list of words, but with a compass for the decisions that you're making every single day as a business owner. And until next time, I am Tracy Jepson, and this is the Small Business Big Deal Podcast.